Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we are going to discuss that how to rectify mistakes in punctuation. In our previous lecture we have discussed the punctuation marks, and today we'll discuss that how we'll deal with the mistakes in punctuation. So first of all, the punctuation is here. That what is punctuation? Punctuation is the system of signs or symbols given to a reader to show how a sentence is constructed and how it should be read. Sentences are the building blocks used to construct written accounts. They are complete statements. Punctuation shows how the sentence should be read and makes the meaning clear. So every sentence should include at least a capital letter at the start and a full stop, exclamation mark or question mark at the end. This basic system indicates that the sentence is complete. So dear students, in last lecture we have discussed in detail about the punctuation, but in today's lecture we will discuss the thing that how we'll deal the mistake which we used to done in punctuation. So this is very important. Every sentence should include at least a capital letter. So keep in mind, these are the things that how you have to avoid from mistakes. Start your sentence with a capital letter and end a full stop, exclamation mark or question mark at the end. So this is the thing that according to sentence, according to situation, how to deal with the punctuation mark. So utilizing correct punctuation wouldn't help you make friends or boost your business, but using punctuation incorrectly will make your book, magazine or catalog copy stand out like a store or a sore thumb. Even if people can't pinpoint your mistake, something will look off about your message, making people less likely to trust what you are trying to say. So it's always best to check your writing for common punctuation mistakes, so you don't dear students, we are discussing that how we have to avoid the things that you have to do in punctuation. So here are the 10 most common punctuation errors people make and how you can avoid making them. So these are the common one. Maybe it can be there in a large number, but we are discussing here 10 to 13 are today we will discuss in our today's lecture. So first of all, extraneous apostrophe is here. So what is extraneous apostrophe? So first of all, we'll see that how the problem is there with the with this aspect. So first of all, people putting apostrophe where they do not belong. So apostrophe is very important thing that how you have to avoid from this. Examples to avoid: it's all yours, $5 off. So now look at this sentence, and now we'll discuss that how to avoid these mistakes. In these cases, you want the plural form of the word, so just add an s. Add an apostrophe if you need the possessive form, such as that is my wife's car. So wife's car is apostrophe is saying something about the property. So this is the thing that how you have to deal with this extraneous apostrophe. Apostrophe are also used for contractions such as shouldn't for should not. So this is the thing that how you have to deal with it. So should not should be like shouldn't. So if you if you can use properly, so then it's well and good, and if you can't use it correctly, so avoid putting apostrophe. So number second is unnecessary quotation mark. So in previous lecture we have discussed that how you have to deal with the unnecessary quotation mark, but in today's lecture we will discuss that how you have to avoid from the mistakes. So first of all, the problem is there, the use of single or double quotation marks when nothing is being quoted. So this is the thing that how you have to avoid. Example to avoid: we offer the best price in town. So we offer the best price in town. Now at the end there is apostrophe is there, sorry, quotation mark is also there, apostrophe is there. How to avoid? If you are not quoting something, don't use single or double quotation mark. If you want to emphasize a specific part of your message, you use a bold or italic font. So this is the thing that in this slide you can see that I am using bold font. So you can look, the problem is written in bold form, example to avoid is written in bold form, and how to avoid written in bold form. So this is the thing, if you want to emphasize a specific part of your message, use a bold or italicized font. So this is the thing that, dear students, how you have to avoid unnecessary quotation marks. So use only necessary quotation marks. So I am going to repeat again. So if you can't use a proper quotation mark, kindly avoid this one. So using quotation mark can be problematic for your assignment, for your academic work. So number third is missing commas. The problem: without commas, sentences can become run-on blocks of text without any breaks. So example to avoid: I went to the store but they were closed, so I went home. So now you can see the example, I went to the store but they were closed, so I went home. So there is no comma. So now we'll see that how we have to avoid from this. Speak the sentence aloud and take note of any breaks in your speech. Insert commas when you pause or when you change gaze within a sentence. So this is the thing that there are the two sentences, but we are using in a sequence only one sentence. I went to the store but they were closed, so I went home. So in the precaution that we are discussing, that speak the sentence aloud and take note of any breaks in your speech. Insert comma when you pause or when you change gaze within a sentence. So now look at the example. I went to the store but they were closed, so I went home. So you have to deal with the things like that, how you have to avoid the commas. And when you use commas, you should be very careful that either it's the correct position of comma or not. So number 4 is too many commas, the problem. So in the last thing we have discussed missing commas, but there are too many commas. The problem is that just the opposite of missing commas, it's possible to include an excessive amount of commas in one sentence. Okay, just the opposite of missing commas, it's possible to include an excessive amount of commas in one sentence. So how we have to avoid: I went to the store, now comma, but they were closed, comma, so I got in my car. We are using comma again and again. Turned my radio on, there is comma, backed out, another comma, and then went home. So now look at the condition, and the sentence is now changed one as we have discussed in the commas section, but now we are using too many commas here. So how we have to avoid this? So this is the part of your learning too, that how you have to avoid these things. So how to avoid: while there is no set rule for how many commas constitutes too many, your eyes are the best judge of overuse. If you think you have too many in a single sentence, consider replacing a comma with a period to create separate sentences. So when you are using commas, you should be careful that how you have to deal with these commas. So too many commas can be problematic for you. As earlier I have said that avoid from these things if you don't know that how you have to put the things properly. So by avoiding, you can avoid from mistake, but if you will put the things there, it can be problematic for you, because you don't know that how you have to deal with the things as you are discussing and as you are going to put these things in your assignment, in your test, in your lecture, in your written material. Access exclamation. So the first of all, we'll see that where is the problem. Too many exclamation points in a body of work overwhelms the reader and devalues each individual exclamation point. So how we have to avoid? Our products are the best. That really work. Get yours today. So now you can see that excess exclamation we are using again and again. How to avoid? Be tasteful with your exclamation points. Save them only for being points and for the ends of paragraph, leaving the reader on a high note. So dear students, in every slide I'll discuss that how you have to avoid, and one thing very important I'll say that kindly avoid from these things if you don't know. First of all, if you don't know how to put the things and where to put the things, so there's very common and keen thing that you have to avoid. Don't use these things, and if you are going to use, then you should know that how and where to put the proper things and when to put. So these are the things that you should be very careful by putting in these your paragraphs. So as it is stated that be tasteful with your exclamation points, so you should be very careful. Save them only for the being points, big points, and for the ends of paragraph. So you should be very careful that how you have to put these things, leaving the reader on a high note. So our products are the best. They really work. Get yours today. So these are the example. You can see that how the exclamation point is being fixed. So in our last lecture we have discussed the things in very detail. So here it is saying its versus its. So it's very common and we use very much in our today's life, in our discussion, in our assignment, in our essay, in our written material. So it's all too easy to misuse this word because its rule are different. So you have to see that what we did there. So examples are there. Examples to avoid: I don't know how it's going to hurt more. You are me. Look into its eyes. So now repeat the example. I don't know how it's going to hurt more. You are me. Look into its eyes. So now you will see that how to avoid the things. Remember that it's is short for it is or it has, where the past of designates a contraction and isn't possessive. So although it can be confusing, the word it's, as in the dog lost its bone, is possessive even though it doesn't contain a apostrophe. A simple test is to see if you can substitute the word with it is or it has. If so, then it's is correct. If not, then it's is probably correct. So now you have to very careful with this section that how you have to avoid from these mistakes. So I am going to repeat again. Remember that it is short for it is or it has. So this is the thing that it is short for it is or it has, where the apostrophe designate a contraction and isn't possessive. So this is the thing that you should be very careful. Although it can be confusing, it can be confusing. When it will be confusing, the word it's, as in the dog lost its bone, is possessive even though it doesn't contain an apostrophe. A simple test is to see if you can substitute the word with it is or it has. So if so, then it is correct. If not, then it is probably correct. So next one is the Oxford comma. The problem: the lack of a consistent method for using commas in list can be infuriating for grammar, prose, and casual readers alike. The Oxford comma, which is the comma before the final atom in a list, is standard in British writing. In the United States, it has become commonplace to skip the last comma, especially in journalism, but the debate about which is right continues. So example with an Oxford comma, my favorite foods are pizza, spaghetti and steak. So this is the example that my favorite foods are pizza, spaghetti and steak. So example without an Oxford comma, my favorite foods are pizza, now comma is there, spaghetti and steak, there is a full stop at the end. So how you have to avoid, now look at our take. There is no right or wrong when it comes to an the Oxford comma. It's a matter of preference. Just keep it consistent in everything you write. So this is the thing that how you have to deal. He is saying that there is no right or wrong when it comes to the Oxford comma. Everything is wrong or right, that's up to you. It's a matter of preference, that how you have to prefer the things and how you deal with the thing. Just keep it consistent in everything you write. So now we are going to discuss hyphen versus dash. In our previous lecture we have discussed in detail about hyphen and as well as dash is there. So now we are going to compare the both. The problem, all horizontal lines in a text are not created equal. So good example using a hyphen, our product are built with high grade steel. So after high we are using hyphen. So good example using a dash, I prefer chocolate milk, now hyphen is there, sorry dash is there, it's tastier than plain milk, but I really like strawberry milk, we are using dash here, although the pink color bothers me. So dash is there because the taste seems richer. So now this is the example and how we have to avoid from this. So use a hyphen, a small line, to combine two words to create a single idea. So it's most frequently used to combine two words into an adjective. Use a dash, a longer line with spaces before and after, to indicate that you are moving on to a separate idea or train of thought. So this is the thing that in our previous lecture we have discussed in detail. So but here we are comparing hyphen and dash, that how you have to avoid. So first example is there about dash and then hyphen, and the second is about dash. We'll repeat again. Our products are built with high grade steel. So high, after high we are using hyphen. So now we'll see the example again about dash. I prefer chocolate milk, it's tastier than plain milk. So full stop is there, but I really like strawberry milk, although the pink color bothers me because the taste seems richer. So at the last we are saying that use a dash, a longer line with spaces before and after, to indicate that you are moving on to a separate idea or train of thought. So this is the thing that how you have to deal with the hyphen and dash. So semicolon versus colon. So this is also being discussed in earlier lectures, but now we are going to compare both semicolon and colons. The problem is semicolons are often misused, particularly where a colon should be used. So this is the thing that we use or misuse the thing. Example to avoid, I brought three things: a toothbrush, a blanket and a pillow. So I brought three things. Number one, a toothbrush, a blanket and a pillow. So good examples. I am glad to be going on vacation. I need the rest from work. So now look at this, how we have to avoid from this. Use a colon if you want to set a list of items. If you want to separate two related but distinct thoughts, use a semicolon. Or in the case of semicolon, consider a period instead a break the thought into two separate sentences. So this is the thing that how you have to avoid. So if you want to separate two related but distinct thought, use a semicolon. So using a semicolon you can distinct the two related things. But in the other case of semicolon, consider a period instead to break the thought into two separate sentences. If you are discussing about two thirds, so you will use semicolon to make it separate. So the number 10 is quotation mark placement, that how you have to mark quotation mark. The problem is there, sentence ending punctuation marks often go outside of quotation mark rather than inside, which is there they belong. So example to avoid, I had a great day at work. So now you can see the example that we are using quotation mark and as well as exclamation mark is also there. So a good example is there, what time is it? So we'll see that how to avoid this thing. The punctuation is part of the text you are quoting, so the punctuation goes inside the quotation marks. Note that in American English the punctuation goes inside the quotation mark while the British punctuate outside of the quotation mark. If you are on the internet and see the punctuation mark outside of the quotes mark, the source could be British. So now this is the comparison of British and American English. So I'll repeat again, the punctuation is the part of text you are quoting. So as in the example, I had a great day at work today. So what time is it? So now look at the example. So the punctuation goes inside the quotation mark. So note that now the two things are there being discussed. Number one is American English, number second is British. So nowadays students, in American English the punctuation goes inside the quotation mark. So in you should be careful about this, that if you are using the punctuation mark inside, so American English will be there, but if you are using outside, the British English will be there. So this is the comparison of American English and as well as British English. Dear students, you should be very careful about using the quotation mark. As earlier I have said that if you are sure, if you are very keen that where to put the quotation mark, you can use, and if you know that where and how you have to put the quotation mark, it's okay. And but if you don't know that how to deal with these things, kindly avoid. If you will avoid, so there will be not a lot of mistake there, so you can avoid that from mistake. So this is the key thing that I am repeating again. If you know that how and where to put the things accordingly, so this is the thing, okay with that. But if you don't know, so kindly avoid that thing, that how you have to avoid these things. So here are the three other ways to correct punctuation mistakes in sentences. So now we'll discuss that in today's era, but we have discussed the 10 major things that how to avoid the punctuation. So now we'll discuss that the other three ways in our today's era, as well as we are living in the modern generation. We are using laptops, multimedias, and as well as mobiles, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp. So how we have to avoid these three ways are intermingled with our social media. So use of simple and small and simple sentences. As earlier I have discussed that in our today's era we have shorted the things very well. So I have quoted the things that in our today's conversation, like messaging, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, we are very keen about these things, that we are using small and simple sentences. But now we have to think that that how we have to deal with this portion. When writing, small and simple sentences must be used instead of long and complex sentences. As professionals, bloggers, freelancers and editors write, they often use a long and complex sentence. The use of long and complex sentences signal that the writer is an expert at the use of English language. But there are a few downsides to this. So as you can say, the bloggers, professionals, freelancer, editor, writer, and so if they are using the long sentences, they are good in English, but there is also a few downside to this. So complex sentences are long and include multiple phrases with them. So this is the thing, when you use the long sentences, there will be multiple phrases with them, complicating the structure of the sentence, making the use of punctuation more complex, which may lead to the punctuation mistake. Obviously, when you will use long sentences, and then there will be a lot of phrases will be there will be a lot of sections will be there. If you are using a discussion, there will be many areas of discussion can be there. If you are using long sentences, then you have to be very careful that how you have to put the mark, punctuation mark, exclamation mark, semicolon, colon, dash, hyphen. So these are the things that you should be very careful by, instead using of small sentence and simple sentence instead of long sentence, phrases. So this is the thing that how you have to be very careful in using these things. So using online punctuation learning tools and website, as earlier I have said that this portion will deal with the things of today's era. So now this class is also about the online lecture. So this is the thing that we are using to convey the things to our students, our teachers, our learners, our researchers. So this is the thing that we have to deal. Learning English online is an online English writing tool that can help people improve the punctuation. The website provides punctuation lesson on apostrophes, colons, commas, periods, quotation, question marks, and semicolons. After the completing of punctuation lesson, there are 2 punctuation tests that are supposed to be taken, ensure the effectiveness of learning. Moreover, there are more English writing lessons and tests available on capital letters, concise writing, editing, formal writing, parallel structure, run-on sentences, sentence fragments, and transitional words. So this is the thing that you have to use when you will use online punctuation learning tools and website. At the end, when you will complete your task, they will ask for a test at the end, that which you have learned. Kindly tell us that how you will deal with this test. So this is the thing. Online punctuation learning tools and websites are very important for your learning and very keen, and it's very important in today's era that you have to deal with the things, and you will how you will avoid the things while using these common mistakes. I am not saying that you have to use copy paste, but you should learn while using online punctuation learning tools and website, because this is very easy. If you will put a sentence there and you will want to convert that sentence in your punctuation learning tools, so they will tell you that how you have to use comma, how you have to use apostrophe, how you have to use colons, how you have to use commas, how you have to use periods. So this is the thing that how you have to use semicolon, exclamation mark. So punctuation is complete there, but you have to do. The thing is that how you deal with the things that you are going to learn. If you are dealing with the things very properly, very intelligently, then the things will be very good for your learning. And if you will just go through for your assignment, for your lecture, for your examination point of view, then the things will not be longer with you as the rest of things will be there with you as you prepare for your knowledge. So this is very important, using online punctuation learning and websites. So you should use website, you should use online punctuation learning. So using a punctuation checker tool, this is also related with website, online learning. So there are a number of punctuation checker tools available online, but it is a challenge to find the punctuation checker tool online. Students, teacher, professional writers, bloggers, and editors to correct punctuation mistakes use these punctuation checkers. Punctuation checker is an online website and tools that correct the punctuation mistakes in a piece of writing. The punctuation checker can help to correct the punctuation mistakes online. Checker is free, easily accessible, and available online and free of registration. So dear students, in my second using online punctuation, I have discussed all these things, that how you have to deal with the things, as it is saying that punctuation checker is an online website and tool that corrects the punctuation mistake in a piece of writing. If you if suppose if you have written a paragraph and you say either it's written correct or not, while using punctuation checker tool you can just put there, or write, you can use copy paste also there. So for test you can copy something from a website and then you can put there in online punctuation checker tool, so the things will be there for you in a result of a you can say correct punctuation checker tool can provide you a very good and you can say easy for you, and he will tell you that how to put the things there. If you will use comma, he will also tell you that how you have to use comma. If you will use exclamation mark, he will tell you that that how you have to use exclamation mark, etc. So dear student, that's all for today's. So inshallah we'll see you soon. Take care. Allah Hafiz.